Welcome to this episode of the Harpreet Singh Show. I'm your host Harpreet Singh from Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. In today's program, I'm having two community activists and community leaders, Naveed Waraich and Haroon Khan, who will be talking to us about this incident that has happened in London, Ontario. It's a very sad day for Canada. This was never even imagined in dreams, but what has happened is really condemnable. And we all need to come forward and start thinking on grounds as to what are the reasons behind these attacks. What is happening, especially in a country like Canada, where we talk about inclusivity, but why is it that this is on the rise? Whether they are the Muslims or the Jews or the Sikhs, what is happening all around the continent is a matter of concern. So let's get two of our guests and continue with the discussion. Naveed and Haroon Khan, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Harpreet.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
First of
Harpreet.
all, this is a very sad day for Canada, and in whatever terms we condemn it, that's less. But as community leaders, you must be busy since morning receiving calls from people and addressing these issues. So, Naveed, if you could start with you. You also run a program, also being a media person, also. So, what is happening? What happened yesterday evening is really has shaken everyone. From any sensible person can never even think what has happened. So, what do you feel in Canada? Why this is happening?
Well, first of all, my condolences to the family and especially all the people who are grieving this because this is a very sad moment for all the communities. I don't particularly talk about the Muslim community. I think anybody who hears such incident and such I would say everybody mourn this type of incident. So we are all very saddened, and my sympathies to the family who are grieving at this point, and it is very shocking. It is very shocking for the entire community. We've been hearing this since morning. A lot of people are calling. A lot of people are going on social media and talking about it. At the end of the day, we thought that we live in a multicultural country where a lot of acceptance is there, but these type of incidents are marking a black dot in our multicultural country. And when I actually look back, and when one particular community, one particular sect, or Muslims, when they were getting called as a terrorist and everything else for all around the world, and uh, that was very sad moment for us. And then now we realize that when we look at these type of incidents, we don't want to involve the communities who are involved, and we want to label that particular person who commits such act can be terrorist, but not one particular community. And we feel that this is an act for one particular person, and that person, I don't know what is going on in his head, but definitely majority condemn these kind of acts, and we're in shock right now.
Absolutely. And Haroon, what do you have to say about what has happened? Whether it was an incident in Quebec where a mosque was attacked, and now this incident has happened, and it sends shivers around all around. What do you have to say about it?
Well, it hits us all in a very devastating way. Um, this is family. It could very well have been any of us, and it doesn't matter what religion you are, what color you are, what affiliation you have. That was a family going out for a walk, and they were targeted. They were mowed down mercilessly, murdered in cold blood, just simply for the fact that they were Muslim. And it's beyond shocking. It's extremely painful. Yesterday, when we got the news, we thought, okay, well, it was a coincidence that this family tragically lost their lives in a motor vehicle accident. But then when we found out the true extent of what actually did happen, it's just become very clear to see that this was a premeditated act. This was something that was done in such a way that the person had foresight, had the means to be able to go and do this, and the opportunity to do it, and he used his truck as a murder weapon, and he struck those people down. And for us, yes, we're Pakistani, yes, we're Muslim, we're Canadians, we're human beings. It's like any member of our own family or anyone we're close to. That's basically how hard it gets. And the stories that I've been hearing are people from all walks of life, from every religion. They're saying that, look, we can't believe this happened. It happened. We're there for you. What can we do? And I hear that from representatives of our Christian community, Sikh community, Hindu community, Jewish community, and so it's heartening to see that in these difficult times, we all come together and get together, and that's just who we are, and fair enough. But the difficult work that will need to be done arising out of this is to realize that there is a systemic problem here,
Right.
not just
I will be
racist
talking to you,
hatred.
Haroon. I'll be talking to you and learning from you as to what you feel, what needs to be done. But what has happened is really very shocking and very shameful also. Naveed, you talked about in the beginning a little bit, you touched this aspect, the Islamophobia, the way things have been projected and the entire community has been labeled in a particular color. Over the years, what are you finding out? Has some sense come to the people realizing that in every community there are bad apples? It is not the entire community, but has the community, the Muslim community, has it been able to bring this forward at an international level, and also have the people of other communities understood that yes, it is some few apples who are tarnishing the name of the entire community?
Definitely, Harpreet, a Muslim in particular, when we talk about Muslim community all around the world, we have been victim about these type of labeling and these type of incidents. So our job and most of our community members and all of our elders, they were involved in spreading their message, their love message, and because we had to do that, because there's always somewhere in that part of the world somebody commit this type of the act, and then the entire community being victimized, and then everybody started kind of defending themselves. And this was a challenge for our community, and then our community actually over the years worked really hard to brush off people's minds and try to sort of give them a message that the entire community can't be labeled as a terrorist if there's one person who's committing that kind of act. And now you know that what's been happening all around the world, and that's where we feel as a community that one person act shouldn't be labeled to the entire community. And this is the prime example. This incident actually, I really don't want to just label any community. I think that's a one personal act, and I don't know what that person was thinking in this particular incident that we talk about. But it's a shameful act, and the entire world actually needs to get more educated, that how we can bring the harmony, how we can bring the love together, how do we accept each other. There's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work we as a community members have to do to spread our message.
Right.
Yes, we have worked enough, but there's a lot more. That a lot more need to be done.
Right. We learned more from you. It's time for a short break. We go for a break. Coming back, we learn from Haroon Khan and Naveed Waraich as to what all has happened and what needs to be done. Whenever some incident happens, we just mourn for some time and then we just get busy in our own lives. And then once again this incident happens, we again accumulate, get together, and then we kind of condemn it, hold candlelight vigils. Just recently we saw 215 young children's skeletons were found at a residential school. Now, the systemic thing which has been going on needs to be condemned, no doubt about it. But What further action needs to be taken? How can we all come forward and start participating in these events so that this comes to an end? We'll talk all about this. And if you also want to participate, you can call us at 604-603-7555, or you can come on social media, YouTube and Facebook. This program is live. So we'll be shortly back and continue with that discussion.
है जुल्म ढाने का अंदाज भी कितना हंसी, हमारी जान पर बनाई है जब जब उसने अंगड़ाई ली। कभी खामोश रहते हैं, कभी शोर होता है। मोहब्बत में शरारत का मजा कुछ और होता है। दिल को जज्बात का तोहफा, खामोशियों को बात का तोहफा, खूबसूरती में जड़ी नजाकत अदाओं की चांद से मुखड़े को चांद सा तोहफा।
भारत ज्वेलर्स, सच्चे प्यार की चमक जैसा। पायल बिजनेस सेंटर सरी।
ਛੋਟੇ ਘਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟਸ ਤੱਕ ਬਾਹਰੋਂ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰਨ ਲਈ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਹਨ ਜੇਰੇ ਸਟੋਨ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਵਾਲੇ। ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਟ੍ਰੈਡੀਸ਼ਨਲ ਕੰਟੈਂਪਰੇਰੀ ਜਾਰਜੀਅਨ ਮਾਡਰਨ ਲੁੱਕ ਦੇਣੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ ਜੇਰੇ ਸਟੋਨ ਨੂੰ, ਜੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਾਬਲ ਸਟਾਫ ਨੂੰ ਭੇਜ ਕੇ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਐਸਟੀਮੇਟ ਦੇਣਗੇ। ਸਟੋਨ ਟਾਈਲਸ, ਅਰਬਨ ਸਟੋਨ, ਮੋਲਡਿੰਗਸ, ਐਕਸੈਸਰੀਜ਼, ਪਿਲਰਸ ਆਦਿ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਸਟਾਲ ਕਰਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਮਹਾਰਤ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹਨ। 25 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਵਾਰੰਟੀ, ਮੇਨਟੇਨੈਂਸ ਫ੍ਰੀ, ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਅਪਰੂਵਡ ਟਾਈਲਸ ਦੀ ਵਰਤੋਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਵੇਖੋ। ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ 604-614-9231 या फिर विजिट करो यूनिट नंबर 500, 1515 ब्रॉडवे स्ट्रीट, पोर्ट कुकिटलम। ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਆਪ ਸਭ ਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵਿੱਚ। ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਲੀਡਰਸ ਹरून ਖਾਨ ਅਤੇ ਨਵੀਦ ਵੜੈਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਨੇ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਲੰਡਨ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਇਹ ਹਾਦਸਾ ਵਾਪਰਿਆ ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ 4 ਬੇਗੁਨਾਹ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਇੱਕ 20 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਪਿਕਅਪ ਟਰੱਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਚੜਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ, ਉਸ ਦੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਨਿਖੇਧੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਦਿਨ ਬੜਾ ਹੀ ਮਾੜਾ ਹੈ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਇੱਕ ਇਨਕਲੂਸਿਵ ਸੁਸਾਇਟੀ ਹੈ। ਰੇਸਿਜ਼ਮ ਹੈਜ਼ ਨੋ ਪਲੇਸ ਓਵਰ ਹੇਅਰ। ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਰੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਇਸ ਦੀ ਨਿੰਦਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਕੀ ਸਿਰਫ ਨਿੰਦਨ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗੀ ਜਾਂ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ? ਜਿੱਥੇ ਮੁਸਲਿਮ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਯੋਗਦਾਨ ਪਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਕੀ ਬਾਕੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਆਪਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ? ਜਦੋਂ ਵਿਸਕੌਨਸਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਟੈਕ ਹੋਇਆ, ਜਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ USA ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਅਟੈਕ ਹੋਇਆ, ਜਾਂ ਜਿਊਜ਼ 'ਤੇ ਅਟੈਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਜਾਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਕਿਉਂ ਇਹ ਰੇਸਿਜ਼ਮ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਪੈਂਡੈਮਿਕ 'ਚੋਂ ਲੰਘ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇਹ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕ ਰਹੀ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਬੁਲੰਦ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਹੀ ਮਹਿਮਾਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਦੱਸ ਦਈਏ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਅਗਨੀਹੋਤਰੀ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਕੰਸਲਟੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਸਹਿਯੋਗ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਟੈਂਪਰਰੀ ਸਟੇਟਸ PR ਨਵੇਂ ਹੋ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ, ਅੰਤਰਰਾਸ਼ਟਰੀ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀ ਹੋ, ਸਿਟੀਜ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ, ਹਾਇਰ ਕਰਨੇ ਫੋਰਨ ਵਰਕਰਸ, ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਪਾਂਸਰ ਕਰਨੇ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਜਾਂ ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ। ਨੀਰਾ ਅਗਨੀਹੋਤਰੀ 2006 ਤੋਂ ਸਰਟੀਫਾਈਡ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਕੰਸਲਟੈਂਟ ਵਜੋਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲਈ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ 604-597-2284, 604-597-2284. This program has been brought to you with the support of AMC Insurance. If you're looking for home, auto, travel, business, life or recreational insurance, you can depend upon them. They have 9 branches in the Lower Mainland to serve you, and they're open 7 days a week from 8:30 a.m. onwards till 9 p.m. Phone number is 604-507-6666. So let's get back our guests and continue with our discussion. So Haroon, before the break, like Naveed mentioned, that the community at large has been doing. But what do you feel? My question to you would be that when some incident happens, we all gather for some time, but after that, again, as a community, do you think enough has been done or is being done? And how can we integrate other communities also, so that the right message goes to each other and we as brothers and sisters come forward and raise a voice, not only just raise a voice, but stand as a wall against racists?
That's very well said, Harpreet. It's something that that we as Canadians, as fellow citizens to one another, and as part of the human family, we have to espouse these values and ideals. And much as we would like everyone to get along, the reality is, and this has really shown us, that there are people who harbor hate for us. They harbor hate for us because they think we are the other. They think that we've done something in that the color of our skin may be different than them. Our religion and our attire is different from them. And the fact that they're being targeted, we are being targeted. It's very chilling. Now, I had thought that a lot of this stuff was an urban myth. That yes, we live in this beautiful country, multicultural country of Canada, and everything is hunky dory. But the reality is, it's not. There have been a massive spike in documented cases of hate against Muslims, hate against Sikhs, hate against Jews, hate against Asians. There is something there, and that points to something wrong in our society. And so the real work that needs to be done, yes, we are holding a candlelight vigil tonight. We are going to be gathering. We are going to be praying. We are going to be crying. But the hard work that we intend to do is to go and speak with the stakeholders at the table, people within our communities, people within our religious affiliations. And then also we must engage with those that hate us. We have to engage with them. We have to talk to them. We have to say, look, buddy, I've got two eyes, I've got a nose, I've got ears. We're all human beings here. We're all in the same bloody thing together. And we need to at least understand each other. And I think that's really the foundation, is that when you learn to understand somebody, then there is no fear. There is no hate can't it cannot manifest itself when there is light. Like when there is understanding, how can you hate something? You understand it. Yeah, you may not like it, but yeah, okay, I understand it. But when it's isolated, then that hate can grow. And so what this has taught us is that we have to confront these structures, the power structures that enable this kind of ideology to happen. Now we think, what was a 20-year-old kid? He was indoctrinated. He was like, make no mistake about it, this was a very deliberate act. He was wearing body armor, right? Like he was on his own personal jihad of white power, and that's so he was on a mission. And the thing is that, look, we can't let the terrorists win. This is a terrorist in our midst, and so we're Canadians. We're part of this society. We can't let this stand idly by. We have to take action. And part of that action, again, have those conversations, do things, be engaged. And at the end of the day, go table to table, eye to eye with those people that hate us the most. Because at the end of the day, we will confront hate with love. And hopefully with that, God knows where it'll take us.
Absolutely. We have a guest, Matey Westham, who has written that he did this in the name of Jesus. Now, that's the most shocking part, when incidents of these kind of happen and the names of prophets or the god or goddess, whoever you believe in, their name is taken, where they were the ones who always spread the message of love, inclusivity. Naveed, what do you have to say about this? Because when it comes to religion, everybody is proud of their religion, which they should be also. But the basic message of religion is inclusiveness, love, and joining hands and helping each other. But in the name of prophets, when these kind of incidents happen, what kind of message goes to the younger generation?
Harpreet, I don't think any religion teaches hate, and any religion teaches this type of. I'm very shocked to even hear this gentleman is saying that. And that's why I think Haroon mentioned it very wisely, and I echo that we need to do more. We need to come back with the love message. And that's not the only thing we can do. Is we can also have a lot of interfaith meetings. Our scholars need to do a lot more what they're doing right now, because they have the knowledge. They have all the tools that they have to actually spread their message. So I think they need to do more. They need to come up from wherever they are, and that they need to meet with each other, and then they need to respect each other. And that's where everybody's going to learn what actually the religion is, what prophet teaches us, what other religions are all about. Because it's not only if I'm a Muslim and I have to actually know about what our Islam teaches. Let's talk about what other religions teach, and then we sort of find that the lines where we can actually mutually work together towards peace, and that's what needs to be done. Basically, Harpreet, you know that media has doing their job. We have media doing a tremendous job, spreading love, making sure that everybody knows about what's going on, what is Islamophobia and all that type of stuff. But that's not enough. That's not somewhere. The message is not. Unfortunately, message is not going around, and we see these type of incidents every now and then. We definitely need our Islamic scholars. We definitely need our other religion scholars to come out, have interfaith meetings, and talk about this stuff, and don't hide it. Maybe involve the communities,
Right.
just like Haroon said. Just sit down on the table. With the mainstream, anybody who wants to sit down, and people who actually are very influenced, they need to talk about it. I also need to tell this Harpreet, I want our leaders, our politicians, they should come up with these type of positive messages, because
Absolutely.
people listen to them, people vote them. I think it requires a combined, unified effort to deal with this type of.
Absolutely, Naveed. You have raised very pertinent points, and it's time for a break. Let's go for a break. We'll be shortly back, and we'll continue with the discussion in the last segment about these issues that you have raised. That's a very important point. We say we are living in a multicultural country, but aren't we living in cocoons? Whichever community we belong to, we are just settled in that particular group, and we are not willing to come out. And that is probably one of the reasons that multi faith needs to be propagated, not only just by the communities but even by the politicians also. But unfortunately, the politicians are only seen during the election time, and most of the time they are busy in their own things. But this priority needs to be brought forward so that this message percolates down at the deep level, and something needs to be done. So we'll be shortly back, and we'll continue with the discussion.
ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਰੀ, ਡੈਲਟਾ, ਰਿਚਮੰਡ, ਐਬਸਫੋਰਡ ਜਾਂ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਵਾਂ ਘਰ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਬਾਰੇ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਰੈਨੋਵੇਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ? ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਤਜਰਬੇਕਾਰ ਬਿਲਡਰ, ਇੱਕ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟਿਵ ਇੰਟੀਰੀਅਰ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਰ ਦੀ, ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਗਾਈਡ ਕਰ ਸਕਣ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸੁਪਨੇ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਉਸਾਰ ਸਕਣ। ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਜਾਂ ਸੰਦੀਪ 6048259295 ਉੱਤੇ।
ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਨਵੇਂ ਤੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਅਪਲਾਈਐਂਸਸ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਸਟੋਵ, ਓਵਨ, ਫ੍ਰਿਜ, ਵਾਸ਼ਰ ਡਰਾਇਰ, ਮਾਈਕ੍ਰੋਵੇਵ, ਫ੍ਰੀਜ਼ਰਸ ਜਾਂ ਡਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ਼ਰ, ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਪਹੁੰਚੋ ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਮ ਅਪਲਾਈਐਂਸਸ ਤੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ 3 ਬ੍ਰਾਂਚਸ ਸਰੀ, ਐਬਟਸਫੋਰਡ ਤੇ ਚਿਲਵੈਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਨ। ਇੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵਾਜਬ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਅਪਲਾਈਐਂਸਸ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ। ਇਹ ਡਿਲੀਵਰੀ ਤੇ ਇੰਸਟਾਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ। ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਪੈਕੇजेस ਫॉर ਬਿਲਡਰਸ ਐਂਡ ਹੋਮ ਓਨਰਸ। ਕਾਲ 6045904140 604 590 4140।
ਕੁਦਰਤ ਦੇ ਸੌਮਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਵਰਤੋਂ ਆਯੁਰਵੇਦਾ ਰਾਹੀਂ 5000 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਬਣਾਏ ਗਏ ਹੈਲਥ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਅਪਰੂਵਡ 100% ਸ਼ੁੱਧ ਆਯੁਰਵੈਦਿਕ ਡਾਇਟਰੀ ਸਪਲੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਦਾ ਲਾਭ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ, ਐਂਗਜ਼ਾਇਟੀ, ਇਨਸੋਮਨੀਆ, ਬਲੱਡ ਸ਼ੂਗਰ, ਕਿਡਨੀ, ਬਲੈਡਰ, ਹਾਜ਼ਮਾ, ਆਈਸਾਈਟ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਦਾ ਆਰਗੈਨਿਕ ਇਲਾਜ, ਜੋੜਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਦਰਦਾਂ ਤੇ ਸਰੀਰਕ ਮਸਾਜ ਲਈ ਕਈ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੇ ਆਯੁਰਵੈਦਿਕ ਤੇਲ ਵੀ ਉਪਲਬਧ ਹਨ। ਹੋਲਸੇਲ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਲਈ ਕਾਲ 604 628 2003।
Once again, welcome back to the program. This program is being brought to you with the support of Best Home Kitchen Cabinets. ਘਰ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਾਨ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਚਨ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਸੋਨਾ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੈਸਟ ਹੋਮ ਕਿਚਨ ਕੈਬਨਿਟਸ ਲੋਅਰ ਮੇਨਲੈਂਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਜਾਣੀ ਪਛਾਣੀ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਹਨ। ਕਸਟਮ ਹਾਈ ਐਂਡ ਘਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਮਲਟੀ ਯੂਨਿਟ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟਸ ਇਹ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਹਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਕੈਬਨਿਟ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਬੈਸਟ ਹੋਮ ਕਿਚਨ ਕੈਬਨਿਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ। ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ ਸੁਰਜੀਤ ਤੇਸੀ 6045918171। Our next sponsor is Day-to-Day Wholesale Cash and Carry. This is British Columbia's largest South Asian grocery store, where you can buy groceries, party-wear, kitchenware, homeware at wholesale prices. More than 5,000 products are displayed on the shelves from India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. For best prices, unique grocery buying experience and high quality products, come to 7843 128th Street, Surrey. 604-503-8787 is their number. My guests today are Naveed, Waraich and Haroon Khan. They are community leaders from Pakistan Canada Cultural Association and Pakistan Canada Association, which has been a pillar of strength for the community and also for integrating other communities also into their fold, whereby the idea is to spread the message of brotherhood and love. So before the break, my question was, if you could address Haroon, you have been here for a long time and you have seen how the communities have grown. But it is great. We are proud that we are growing at a big level. But on the other hand, if you compare today to the previous time, don't you think that we are just living in our own cocoons and we are uncomfortable to extend our hand to others, except for when something happens? It's great. As I'm not saying that there shouldn't be candlelight vigils, that there should not be condemnation, but the question is that what do you feel, how we come out of this and start getting the message right down where it needs to go?
Well, Harpreet, it boils down to engagement. You have to engage on a personal level, on a community level, from your family level, all the way up to the government level. You have to participate. Like the reality is that yes, you can be in your silo, you could be in your cocoon, but that does not really take you anywhere other than yes, you're in your comfort zone and you're in that bubble. But the reality is, we live in a society, and the society that we live in is the Canadian society. And for the most part, it's a just and fair and very tolerant society for all people of all walks of life, all faith, all genders, all inclinations, what have you. But the reality of the situation is that there is hate, and it's evidenced. Like I have been briefed by the various intelligence agencies, by the police departments, and by government officials, indicating that there is this undercurrent of hate, not just affecting our own community, but all types of communities. And you have to call it for what it is. So there is a very warped sense that people who were the majority when our parents came here, it was a white majority that was here, and it was the white kind of scenario that really took precedence over all things. And but now, because multiculturalism has embedded itself so deeply, those distinctions, at least for those of us who've been here for so long, we don't see a difference if you're Chinese or if you're white or if you're Jewish or if you're Hindu or Sikh or what have you. We're just fellow citizens working in this in making a life for each other in this society that we call our own. But the undercurrent of hate is real, and we do have to expose it for what it is, and like I had said earlier, we have to then engage with it, because if you don't engage, you don't foster understanding, it's going to get even worse. And I just it's so difficult to really just think about this, the loss that happens so quickly and so abruptly, where a family of five, four just gone, just taken down, mowed over, and a little boy clinging to life who's lost everything he's ever known and everything he's ever loved, and that just is so heartbreaking. And so when I talk to people, and I've been talking all day about this, it's families. It's that's our kid. That's our family, and so I hear this same sentiment from people from all walks of life and all religions, all indicating the same thing, that we're in solidarity with one another as family, and that at least is one great thing about the Canadian society, is that there is a cohesiveness to this fabric of this place that we call home, but it is a tenuous grip that we have on it. And if we allow it, if we allow hatred to fester, if we allow ignorance to manifest itself into acts of aggression and violence and murder, then what bloody good are we? And so it's important. Like I'm a volunteer. I don't like being called a community leader or whatever. That was my dad's job, but for us, we're volunteers.
Right.
And so our work as volunteers is fight the good fight. When you see something wrong, it's your duty, it's your responsibility to do something about it, and it's your duty as a fellow citizen. So if you see something, you hear something go look into it, and then and bring people in. We're like there are many people there to help you,
Right.
and so all those resources are there. And Harpreet, I really want to take a moment to appreciate you and all the hard work you've done over many years of breaking these stories out to the public and to the people and to the public eye.
Thank
And,
you.
so it's
Thank you very much
appreciated.
for your kind words. And Naveed, you talked about the media. Let's talk heart to heart on this particular issue. When we talk about the media as such, because of course the community media is confined only to the communities only. And you also talked about interfaith. That is and as Haroon is talking about engagement. I think, not I think, I would ask from you today as to what do you feel as far as the media is concerned. Do you feel that we have been playing the right role, or more needs to be done so that it just not remains confined to the community only where to which we belong, but it percolates to other communities also, and we as a strong pillar, the fourth estate, come forward and start spreading this message of love and brotherhood?
Yes, Harpreet. First of all, I actually like to acknowledge your efforts as a media, and you've been a strong advocate of this, and you've been spreading a lot of love. That's thank you. But at the same time, when you ask the question about media, now we're living in a different part of the world now. Everything changed. Media concept changed. Now social media took over.
Right.
Now every person who has the camera and every person who has this social media, they're using those tools to sort of communicate with each other, and that's why the news become viral in no second. And this is what and things has been changed now. Things are different now. The media personnel, like the journalists like you and many others, need to work hard to educate people, to bring the politicians, bring the, just like I just said, interfaith meetings. Just do such things where you can communicate with people, you can communicate more. I think there's a lot more needs to be done, but every human being who is in a right set of mind has a responsibility to take part in it and then educate others. And we, as Haroon said, as a community volunteers, as I also don't consider myself as a leader, but I also think we have a lot of responsibility to educate people, to get involved with other people, to get involved with other communities, and listen to them what they and where sort of identify sort of gaps, where those gaps are, and why there is a lot more misunderstanding, especially with Muslims and other cultures, and
Right.
try to bridge the gap. And this is exactly what we need to do and what media needs to do. Uh, I just don't want to shy away from saying that I don't see mainstream stream media is doing enough to sort of bridge the gap between Muslims and other communities, even though they sort of bring out news in a positive way and at some times. But I think the most ethnic media is doing a lot of great work in this sort of section. I think mainstream media and ethnic media needs to come together and put together another effort to educate people, and that can be a big milestone if we can start spreading love through our media formats
Absolutely.
and get the mainstream media involved in this. I think there's a lot more needs to be done, but again, being on the social media, I think it's everybody's responsibility to do the right thing, and most people are, and use that tool to spread love.
Very true. Social media is the future of journalism, and that is what we are seeing. That it can create wonders, it can bridge the gap, and definitely a lot is being done, and we hope more will be done. Haroon, today evening now at 8:30 p.m., you are having a program at the Al Jamia Masjid in Vancouver. Could you tell a little bit about that? What is this program, and what all is happening over there?
Well, it's a very spontaneous gathering. It's unfortunate, Harpreet. Over the years, there have been incidences which really shake the public consciousness We had that with the Quebec mosque shooting. We had that with the terrible massacre in Christchurch, New Zealand, and people felt compelled to gather and to also gather at a masjid. And our masjid, as you know, is the first mosque established in BC back in 1963. We've been at the forefront of engagement with all communities for many, many decades, and we'll be doing so for many, many decades and generations to come. And so our doors are always open, and to anyone and everybody. And so in times like this, it's important that we make that available to the people. And so what we're doing in this particular instance is gathering at 8:30 this evening. So the Maghrib prayer coincides with the sunset, which is around 9:15, 9:20 p.m. There'll be an outdoor gathering. Some people are encouraged to bring their candles or observe in whatever way they would like to observe this remembrance. And we'll have a program inside as well, and we'll pipe it outside, and we'll broadcast it
Right.
on social media, on Facebook Live and what have you. And we encourage you to share that with your viewers and with your people, because at the end of the day, this is where community building happens. I think one of the things that did happen before, when you talked about the cocoons, is nobody knew what the inside of a mosque looked like.
Right.
Nobody knew what a temple looked like, or a mandir, or anything. You know, it was behind closed doors. Our doors are open. Like, and what is it? It's basically, four walls and a carpet.
Right.
It's so these things are what they are. Fundamentally, we're all the same, and we're not. What makes us exemplary is our ability to see something and go for it. And so that's incumbent upon all of us.
Right.
And I think it's a good thing for all of us.
Right. Thank you very much for this information, and we hope people in large numbers come over there, and not just from the Muslim community, but from other communities also.
All
Naveed,
people.
would you like
Yeah.
to conclude with something?
Basically, I would like to say in my own native language, I can say it in Urdu. सबसे पहले तो मैं हरप्रीत आपका बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहूँगा कि आपने हमें मौका दिया, हम अपनी बात कर सकें और कम्युनिटी के साथ कर सकें। ये एक दिल को चुभती हुई दुखदायक जो हमें खबर मिली है, इसका पूरी कम्युनिटी को ना सिर्फ एहसास बल्कि कम्युनिटी बहुत ही इसको आड़े हाथों ले रही है, और कम्युनिटी में एक बहुत बड़ा सदमा है, बड़ा अफसोस पाया जाता है। और एज अ कम्युनिटी वॉलंटियर्स हम इसको जान सकते हैं, पहचान सकते हैं। तो मैंने आपसे सिर्फ एक इल्तमास करना है थ्रू हरप्रीत सिंह मीडिया की वसातत से, जो अपनी कम्युनिटी के लोग हैं। मैं काफ़ी दिन सुबह से हमें जो मैसेज आ रहे हैं, जो व्हाट्सएप पे मैसेजेस आ रहे हैं, फेसबुक पे मैसेजेस आ रहे हैं, और मुझे हम सबको दुख है, और कुछ मैसेजेस बहुत स्ट्रांग भी हैं। तो इस वक्त तो मैं अपनी कम्युनिटी से यही इल्तमास करना चाहूँगा कि जैसे हमने बहुत सारी जो जब हम पे मुश्किल थी तो हमने काफ़ी सब्र किया, इस वक्त एक और मुश्किल का वक्त है। हम जानते हैं कि कम्युनिटी की एक फीलिंग इसमें बिल्ट हो रही है, लेकिन आपको सब्र का साथ देना पड़ेगा। लोगों को बिल्कुल अपने फॉलो करें। बहुत सारे लोग जो हैं वो बड़े अच्छे मैसेजेस दे रहे हैं। हमें कम्युनिटी में प्यार बढ़ाना है। हमें इस बात का एहसास है कि ये पूरी कम्युनिटीज ऐसी नहीं है, ये सिर्फ एक इंडिविजुअल का काम है जिसने किया है, और सम टाइम कुछ साइकोलॉजिकल चीज़ें भी होती हैं, लेकिन जो हेट है वो वहाँ पे मौजूद है, लेकिन हेट का मुकाबला हेट से नहीं किया जा सकता। हेट का मुकाबला हमेशा लव से, प्यार से किया जाएगा। तो मैं अपनी कम्युनिटी से यही इल्तमास करूँगा कि आप प्लीज़ अपने आप को मजबूत रखिए और स्प्रेड करिए, लव को स्प्रेड करिए। आप दूसरी कम्युनिटीज को ये मैसेज दीजिए कि हमें तकलीफ जरूर है, लेकिन हम एक बड़े रिस्पॉन्सिबल सिटीजन हैं।
No doubt about it. A very profound and powerful message, Naveed Waraich. Thank you very much. Haroon, thank you very much. And once again,
Thank
on
you.
behalf of our media fraternity and the Sikh community, we offer condolences, and we hope that this message reaches down and we start working together and spread this message. And as I said before, PCCA and PCA have been doing yeoman work in the community of getting everyone together. Let's all join hands and raise voice against the racists, and not just raise the voice but also stand as a strong wall so that others know that at this time of grief, we just are not grieving, but along with that, we are proactive members of the community and we want peace and brotherhood to sustain. Thank you very much and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਨਵੀਦ ਵੜੈਚ ਅਤੇ ਹਰੂਨ ਖਾਨ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਬੜਾ ਦੁੱਖ ਭਰਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਹੋਸ਼ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਸਮਾਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਹੈ। ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਹਾਦਸਾ ਵਾਪਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸ 'ਤੇ ਰਿਐਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਇਹੀ ਸਮਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਠਰੰਮੇ ਨਾਲ, ਸਮਝ ਨਾਲ, ਸੋਚ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਸੋਚੀਏ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਫਰਦਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਦਭਾਵਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਵਧਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਹਾਂ। In Canada, we are proud and we are blessed to be living in this wonderful country. Some bad apples do not depict the entire communities. So is karke, lot of misgivings are there. Let's meet each other. Let's share our vision with each other and let's make Canada strong. And also an appeal to the politicians that please start working on these grounds, because the undercurrents, as Haroon also mentioned, show that there is something happening which needs to be tackled at this time rather than wait for something to happen. So with this hope, and we pay our respects to the departed souls and pray that may Allah the Almighty give them place in their feet, so that this is an incident which is terribly shaken everyone. So let's all unite, let's all join hands and start and raising our voice against racists. Thank you very much. Every evening from 7 p.m. onwards, Monday to Friday, we share this program in which we have different guests and we talk about how we can empower, educate and inspire each other. So if you also want to be a part of this program, you can contact me at 604-603-7555 or you can email me at harpreetsingshow@gmail.com. ਇੱਥੇ ਲੈਣ ਆ ਗਿਆ, ਫਿਰ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ. Have a safe evening, stay healthy and enjoy yourself.
ਘਰ ਇੱਕ ਐਸੀ ਥਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹਰ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਣੀ ਨਿੱਜੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਸੁਨਹਿਰੀ ਪਲ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰਿਆ ਜੀਵਨ ਬਤੀਤ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਪੂਰੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਜਦ ਕਿਸੇ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਨੂੰ ਸਜੇ ਹੋਏ ਘਰ 'ਚ ਬਦਲਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ। ਨਵੇਂ ਘਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਰੇਮਿੰਗ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ਿੰਗ ਤੱਕ, ਡ੍ਰੇਪਰੀ, ਪੇਂਟਿੰਗਸ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਡੈਕੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਐਸੈਸਰੀਜ਼ ਤੱਕ, ਤੁਸੀਂ SK ਹੋਮ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਰਵਿਸਿਜ਼ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੁਪਨਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਹਕੀਕਤ 'ਚ ਬਦਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰੋ ਸੰਦੀਪ ਕੌਰ 6048259295।
ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸਮੈਨ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ? ਸੁਖੀ ਬਾਟ ਮੋਟਰਸ ਦੇ ਓਨਰ ਸੁਖੀ ਬਾਟ ਨੂੰ ਵੇਖ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਸਮਝ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇੰਟੈਲੀਜੈਂਸ ਦਾ ਉਦਾਹਰਨ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਾਰ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਖ ਸੁਖੀ ਬਾਟ ਮੋਟਰਸ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਨੇ ਸਰੀ ਦਾ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੈਂਟਰ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲੋੜ ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੋੜੀਂਦੇ ਟਰੱਕਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਗਾਈਡੈਂਸ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸਪੇਸ, ਮੋਡੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਫਿਊਲ ਐਫੀਸ਼ੀਐਂਸੀ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸੁਖੀ ਬਾਟ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਟਰੱਕਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਟੌਰ।
ਵੈਨਕਾਸਾ ਟਾਈਲ ਅਤੇ ਸਟੋਨ ਸ਼ੋਰੂਮ ਇੱਕ ਐਸੀ ਥਾਂ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੋਲਸੇਲ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਹਰ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀਆਂ ਟਾਈਲਸ, ਸਟੋਨ, ਮਾਰਬਲ, ਬੈਕਸਪਲੈਸ਼, ਮੋਜ਼ੇਕ ਆਦਿ ਵਾਜਬ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਟਾਲੀਅਨ, ਸਪੈਨਿਸ਼, ਚਾਈਨੀਜ਼ ਪੋਰਸਲਨ ਜਾਂ ਸਿਰੈਮਿਕ ਟਾਈਲਸ ਜਾਂ ਮਾਰਬਲ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਆਰਡਰ ਤੇ ਜਾਂ ਕਲੀਅਰੈਂਸ ਤੇ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਮਾਲਕ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟ ਟਾਈਲਸ ਇੰਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ, ਜਿਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਸਮਾਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਵਿਜ਼ਿਟ ਕਰੋ 130428 ਐਵਨਿਊ ਸਰੀ। ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਹਿੰਦੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ 604 330 7363 604 330 7363।